Hi everyone, my name is Carlton Herbert. Here's what I put together for Module 3.2, looking at the technological design integration with the passive and active systems for the unit here. For passive systems, I wanted to include solar power generation on the roof. I thought this would give it good use of space for that roof system. Also, some stormwater recycling for basically just watering the greenscapes that would be on site, which can some recycling of the water there. Also some cross ventilation for some passive cooling. So I'm trying to orient windows in a way that can get opposite faces of the building to be able to be open so that we can get some airflow through there. Also looking at some natural cooling with green roof and green kind of garden roof systems. And then as well as some sunshade systems will be coming down the road as well. For the active systems, structural system I wanted to go with kind of a hybrid system using column beam and steel structure and then infill with typical wood framing. For mechanical, I wanted to keep minimal ductwork with just an active heating system. Based on the previous research, it seemed like the passive cooling should be able to keep it cool enough, and it would just mainly require an active heating system. Also, the electrical system is going to be connected to the main city power grid, but going to be a little bit offset by the solar power generation and also potentially some wind power generation on the roof as well. For the plumbing, it's going to be same thing, connection to the main city sewer, and then the building envelope, trying to build in some cross ventilation of those shared corridors, and then also some private outdoor balcony systems as well. So here's what I put together for just kind of locating some of those sustainable strategies. Here's specifically the ones for this section, looking at the rooftop solar array and wind turbines up on those two larger structures towards the top of the screen there. Those roofs are the highest roofs in the building system. So I wanted to keep those for mechanical systems such as the solar and the wind turbine. And then wanting to put some kind of underground cistern and rainwater collection system into the central green space, ideally keeping it below grade. Also, there's those rooftop gardens and green spaces pointed out there along the roofs of those lower buildings towards the bottom of the screen. And then put some sunshades as well, mostly on that south-facing side. And then here's some of the configuration of the system. Ideally, they would be running down to some basement rooms to keep things separate from residential systems, and then that cross ventilation is showing kind of the typical direction of the airflow, ideally. Just kind of going through opposite faces there. Stormwater management, same kind of thing, just gathering from kind of the perimeter of that green space area, and then ideally coming from some of the roofs as well down to there, and then those rooftop gardens. Here's the typical section, just kind of cut basically right through the center, approximately through here. And here's that with some of the systems marked out. So those solar and wind systems happen up there on the roof, running electrical down to kind of basement room set up there, and distributed in the floors and ceilings of each of the units. And stormwater happening, some kind of underground system there, sort of in the center, and then running things like the ventilation, mechanical, and plumbing through some kind of chase there. Ideally, it would be located either in central area or pushed towards that shared circulation corridors on the left side. And then also showing some of the structural systems. There'd be a bunch of steel beams and columns running between each of the floors there. Here's just an overall main level plan that I'm working on here, just to give you an idea of the site in general. And then here's kind of how those systems would be going throughout that site. So just a good top view of what I was describing before. So the main electrical systems would be connecting to that main power grid. The street running on the south and the west faces there. There should be some good spots to just tie directly to the electrical grid there. And then if need be, some secondary systems in that transit building on that left side, or kind of the shared circulation space towards the right there. And then also kind of showing some of the preliminary beam layout, steel beam and column layout there in blue. And then also the mechanical and plumbing systems, basically just zoning each section for its own mechanical system there. And here is one of the typical units. I've got sort of central chase going on there for the wet core and mechanical access. And then ideally I would just be running through interior and potentially some exterior walls in order to get to each of the different places that would need some hookups for the water. So that's what I put together for this module and right there. And yeah, thanks for taking a look.